Hi all, welcome to Salesforce in 5 minutes. In this video, we are going to understand the basic terminologies in triggers like trigger.new, trigger.new map, trigger.old map and everything like that. What exactly it is and what value does it contains. So all these things we are going to understand in this video. So right now, there is a contact I have right now and I have created a trigger on the same contact like contact object. I have created a trigger and I am providing the after update context. So the context does not means anything right now. I'm just providing after update for time being. So one thing important is in order to print anything on the screen. In C usually we used to do printf, scanf, and printf. Usually we used to do anything using printf. So to find whether the values are populated inside a variable, we used to do or system.out.println in Java, and then we used to provide the value of we used to provide the variable so that we can understand, okay, the value inside the variable was passed properly. So basically this is nothing but a debugging techniques. So inside Salesforce you can debug, inside trigger you can debug using system.debug. So this is how using system.debug you can provide the same effect as that of println or system.out.println or printf. So this can be a very important thing in order to debug anything in Salesforce. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just save the trigger, and as it is an after update context, after I update the trigger, after I update the contact record, so let's say I'm going to update a phone number to again 8 and I'm going to save it. Inside the logs I would be able to see debugs over here. So if I open any debug right now, I'm opening the second one, it says this is change. So this is what I have provided inside my system.debug. So basically this can be used in order to debug anything whether the values are passed or not. So system.debug is used for this. Now another thing is trigger.new and trigger.old. So trigger.new, as I've previously told, it consists of the newer versions of the values, and trigger.old has nothing but the older versions of the values. What do I mean by that is, let's say I have this contact record, and if I'm going to update the name of Andy, as I am going to remove the y from it and I'm just going to keep and. Okay, so the trigger.new will have the newer version of the record, that is and Mr. and Young, whereas the trigger.old will have the older versions of the record where it was still Andy. To understand this, let's debug it. I'll just turn it back to Andy and click on save. So I'm going to do is system. So now this will consist of the newer versions of the record. So let's do one thing. I'm going to update Andy to Salesforce and I'm going to save it. So I've updated the name of the name of the contact. If I go to the debug and click on debug only, you will be able to see the new it says the new version of the trigger.new which I had added to my trigger system.debug. If you check it out and if you copy everything and take it to your notepad, so as we can see, the first name is Salesforce. Previously it was Andy, but the trigger.new will have a newer versions of the records, hence it has first name as Salesforce. Let's see. now I'm going to print old and new, both of the versions. So again I'm going to change it to Andy. Previously the first name is Salesforce, and I am again changing it back to Andy. So if I go to my developer console and click on debug only, the newer version trigger.new will have the first name as Andy. The newly changed value, that is Andy. Previously it was Salesforce, but now it is Andy. So trigger.new will have a newer version of the record, that is Andy. On the other hand, I'm going to remove the trigger.new thing, and then we are going to see what is inside the trigger.old. So inside trigger.old, first name is still Salesforce. So the previous value, whatever was there in our record, is stored inside the trigger.old, that is older versions of the record, and trigger.new has the newer versions of the record, that is Andy. So I hope you understood what is the difference between trigger.old and trigger.new. The another thing I would like to explain is maps in Salesforce. So usually map is nothing but a key value pair. So inside map it stores key and value. So in order to get the key value pair in Salesforce, you can also use the trigger.old and trigger.new map inside Salesforce. Let's go to it. Just change the trigger.new to trigger.new map and trigger.old to trigger.old map. So if I again go to the contact record, and if I update it back to Salesforce, if I check my debug log, if I remove everything like this is what the trigger.new map consists of. It consists of a ID. The key is as the map is key value pair. In this case, the key is the ID, and the value is nothing but the whole contact record. The whole contact record is inside the key, and the value is nothing but the contact record's ID. So basically, if we see, I'm saving the newer version. So inside the newer version, the name is again Salesforce. The first name is Salesforce. Previously it was Andy. We have changed to new Salesforce. So the trigger.new map returns the newer versions of the record along with the ID using trigger.new map. On the other hand, so this is what the old map would return. It will again return the ID as a key, but the value in this case, as you can see, the first name is still Andy. So it will consist of the previous value, but along with the key value pair, where key is the ID of the contact and value is nothing but the record of the contact itself. So I hope you understood what is the difference between trigger.new and trigger.old and trigger.new map and trigger.old map. Now you might be asking, why am I teaching this? Because whenever a value is changed, so suppose if I say that, okay, when the phone number is changed, when I change the phone number from 1 to 3 4 5 6 to something x something 11 12 13 14 15 16, if I change it, if I change the value, only then update the account record. Let's say account record. In this case, we will use trigger.old and trigger.new and trigger.old map, because the trigger.new will consist of the new value and the trigger.old will consist of the old value. So comparing those both, you can check whether the value is actually changed or not. Using trigger.old and trigger.new, you can compare and check whether the value is changed or not. So before value was 1 2 3 4 5 6, whether the new value is 11 12 13 14 15 16. If it is so, only then fire, or else don't fire. So in order to compare whether the value is changed or not, you can use trigger.old and trigger.new map or everything like that. The another thing that I would like to explain you is, so after update, Now this is one of the most important thing as far as I think. This is one of the most important thing. This is because you can specifically run some amount of the code at specific amount of time. Like just a second. So whenever you have to run a code when in after update only, and you have all the context over here. Let's say after update, after insert, you have all the context already provided in your apex code, like it is previously written, and all the contexts are here. But you have to execute some part of the code, like you have to execute your function only after update, in after update. So you can place your, you can write the code inside this, or else if you want to execute your code in after insert, you can write only your code inside this. So even though all the contexts are provided, it will, you can specifically run in different types of the context as per as your need. So let's test this. So if I'm going to run in after update, it should trigger both of them, before update and after update, because I'm going to update the record. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to update the contact record and click on save. If I go to the debug and click on debug, so inside before update, so before ran first and after that after ran. Okay, so this is one. And what if I try to create a contact? In this case again, the before insert would run first, and after that after insert would run. So I'll just save it. So if I go to my developer console, before insert has run first and then after insert. So I hope you understood what are the different types of the terminologies and everything that I've taught in Salesforce. If you have any questions, you can write it inside the comment. And if you found this video helpful, it was helpful to you, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you for 100 subscribers.